Hey, Annie here. Did you know that not everybody solves problems the way that you do? That can create frustration when you're trying to solve problems together. Yesterday in my Facebook Live, I talked about the one hat that solves all your problems. And the idea behind that is that you create a pathway that helps people find their own way to the solution. There are 4 different functions or ways that we tackle problem solving. And we tend to have 1 or 2 ways that energize us, that get us excited about solving problems, and 1 or 2 that are less so. They kind of drain our energy. And so when we spend time in those areas that energize us, we get excited about problem solving. When we spend time in those areas that don't energize us, we get drained with problem solving. So today I want to go over those 4 functions. I want you to take a look at what do you notice about where you get energy in problem solving, and notice like what takes away your energy in the problem solving process. So the first one here is show me the data. I'm going to move you guys just a little closer so that you can see this a little bit better. Just hang tight. I'm going to move my computer. Awesome. Now you can see it just a little bit better. So this first quadrant is show me the data. Let's clarify the problem. This is all about clarifying the problem. So it's facts, it's figures, it's what's behind it, it's the history behind it. They want to dig into making sure that there is actually a problem to be solved. So if that's your sweet spot, if you really love to find out where the problem is coming from, it's the show me the data. They are also very realistic about solutions. Let's find a solution that works. They're feet on the ground when it comes to solutions. So the second function is this think through possibilities. All right, so it's all about the possibilities, but really it is like root causes. So you can't read this very well, but what it says is root causes. They want to dig deeper, not just the facts and the figures and the surface symptoms, but really what is causing the problem. So they notice patterns to problems. They notice the patterns behind it. Well, this problem mirrors that problem, which mirrors that problem, and in that, here might be the bullseye of the root cause of our problems. And then it's all about alternative approaches, being able to generate possibilities. This is where brainstorming comes into play. And so all the ideas get generated here. So if you're in that zone of root cause plus ideas, that's your sweet spot. This is where that's at. The third function is in analyzing our options. Okay, so now we've brainstormed and we've got all these ideas, all these options, but now we have to weigh in on each alternative. So they're really good at sorting through the alternatives. Maybe it's pros and cons, maybe it's a voting method, some sort of objective way of being able to weigh in on the pros and the cons of each alternative, whether they are realistic or off the charts unrealistic, which might come in from either place, and being able to evaluate those alternatives. They really notice cause and effect. Like, if we do this, then that will happen. And the connection between what we do and the result that comes is really important. So they're results oriented. So if you're thinking through like analyzing options and seeing results oriented to the solution, this might be the zone that you're in. They do like to think through contingencies because one possibility might not work. And so they have if-then scenarios running in their head all the time. And the fourth area is evaluate the impact. So this is also a way of analyzing ideas to make sure that they are ones that are effective. But instead of taking a more objective criteria and weighing through pros and cons, this is really looking at it from a much more subjective criteria approach. So it's asking the question, how does the solution we've come up with fit with the organizational values? Or how does the solution that we've come up with fit with my personal values? Those are the questions that are asked in this because they're all about impact. It's about impact on people and impact on values. That's what we're talking about here. So they notice the impact on people. Well, if we do this, then this person in that department is going to have a harder time with it. Or it's really going to solve this person's complaint that they've been talking about for years if we do this. It's the impact on people. Or they might notice, ooh, there's going to be a couple people that will be really resistant to this change. What are we going to do about that? How are we going to help them through this solution change process that we're going to engage in? They are always asking the question, how do we win people over to the solutions? And they'll be asking that question way back in this part of the process, because they always have an eye on how do we win people over, how does this impact people. So those are the 4 functions of problem solving. And now what I'd love to do is hear from you about which one of those 4 functions, or maybe 2 of those 4 functions, are the place where you get the most energy. Recognizing that we use all 4 functions in problem solving, but some of them give us more energy, so we spend more time in those zones than those that give us less energy. If you'd like to learn more about these 4 functions, check out my blog. The link is in the comments of this video, in the description of this video. And I'd also love, again, to hear what your 1 or 2 problem-solving zones are. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.